So leading with social media. Who's on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube? Don't know what I'm talking about. So I thought if I wore a tie, you might at least tweet about my tie. So even my dad's on social media these days, so it's getting a bit bizarre for me. So who set the benchmark? Who thinks that nobody was the best person to demonstrate social media? Or a carpenter, a politician, or a movie star? Which one is it? You ready? Now, Barack Obama used social media to become a world leader. What are you going to use social media for? If he can become US president through a social media campaign, sky's the limit, right? So, 3 keys we're going to talk about today. You need to spark action, you need to rap with your audience, and you need to add some content or add some value. So the first one we're going to talk about is sparking action. Obama's key to his online campaign was not to have people online. It was actually to have them vote offline. So his whole social media campaign was about inciting action in the real world. Key idea, it's about action. So where are we going? Obama wanted to be US president, but his vision for the future was about change. How are we going to change America? And to do that, you need to start with a vision. And you also need to align it with your cause. Your cause needs to strike the emotions. It needs to strike the heart. It needs to strike the soul. Unless you're getting people inspired with your cause, we're not interested. So why are we doing this becomes with things we need to measure. We need to either measure our progress towards the goal or the activity we're doing. If we're not measuring things, people are not going to be engaged, they're not going to be energised, they're not going to be focused. The raps, did they talk with us or did they talk at us? Or did they just talk? I think they just talked. No wonder we couldn't decide. So the first rap we want to talk about is, what are we talking about? You need to define the conversation. What are we talking about? What are we not talking about? Are we talking about football? Are we talking about politics? Are we talking about leadership? We're not talking about the weather today, we're talking about leadership. You need to define the conversations. Social media is social because it's for everyone to join in. So you want to give everyone the opportunity to say something. Put your hand up. This is your chance to say something. That's what moves the world forward. And Obama, as good as he was, couldn't win the election by himself. He only had 1 vote. So what he needed to do was invite all his friends and get new friends on board to help him change the world. So if you want to change the world, sitting on the couch like The Simpsons watching TV is not going to do it. It's not going to change anything, is it? So you need to be making something. It could be as simple as a tweet, or it could be as big and grandiose as running an election. When you watch TV, it's actually okay to sit there and watch, and a number of people will do it. But when you've got a video game, who wants to watch a video game? No, we all want to play, don't we? So the first thing you've got to do is give people the tools to play. And once you've given people the tools to play, you need to help them use them so they can get the most out of it. There's no point having a Ferrari, right, if you don't know how to drive. So once you've given people the tools, and you've given them the help to get things done, then they can create something. So what does a little kid want to do when they've created something? Hey, look what I did. So you want to give people a chance to show off so they can share what they're doing and show the world what they've created. So here's my final take on social media and leadership. If you're a good parent, what would the things that you'd be doing? You'd be sparking action. You'd want desirable action. You'd be training your kids to act in a proper way. You'd have them dialoguing and conversations. You'd be talking with them, and you'd be making some really cool stuff together, wouldn't you? That's what social media is about. Be a good parent. There's your role model for leading with social media. If you want more, have a look at BookWrapper. There's a whole bunch of booklets, e-books there for you to have a look at and digest further. So that's 5 minutes, and that's a wrap.